Welcome back. Today I thought I would do something a little bit different, and I actually got this idea from Lavender Town. And basically I'm just going to go around in my Minecraft world and find any points that I think would look nice, and then I'm going to try to draw them. I think for the most part I got a pretty good seed. The biomes are pretty close together, so I have a lot of choices. I was gonna try to do something with the alpacas here, so. I also found this jungle, but it was pretty small, so I didn't really know what I could do with it. So after a while, I found these really amazing mountains. And I took lots of pictures here because I thought the waterfall and the trees and the snow would be really nice. I'm a really big fan of the water and the ocean, so I couldn't resist taking a bunch of underwater photos. I'm back at the water again because, as I said, I really love the water, both in real life and in Minecraft. Over here I found an underwater ruin and a shipwreck, but the shipwreck was flipped over, so I didn't really do anything with that. I was kind of just searching, and I found my way back to the water, and I found this really nice spot with a bunch of kelp in the deep water with the mountain just above the surface. I had a look around in the jungle, but there wasn't really much that I wanted to do with. So I took a few last pictures and then decided to call it a day. So here are the pictures I decided to use. As you can see, I used the underwater ones and the mountainy ones. So I'm going to start with this one. I didn't really have a clear vision of what I wanted it to look like when I was going into this. I did know I wanted to have a character in it though, and this is probably the only one of them I'm going to do with a character. So I'm basically just sketching. I wanted to include the little fish and stuff. And of course the background mountains above the surface. It was honestly so time consuming and tiring for me to draw in every single one of the leaves. I needed to make it look like you were seeing the picture from below and not just from the side. So it was kind of hard, but I managed. One of my favorite aspects of the picture is how you can see the surface from below the water. So I go ahead and sketch in the mountains, and here I go, drawing in more of the kelp. I finally started line art here, and the line art didn't give me too much trouble, but the coloring was very hectic. So it's around now when I start to do the coloring. And if you've ever tried to do digital art, you know that coloring is a pain, because if you use the fill bucket tool, you get all these little white lines and dots that I don't know how to get rid of. So I just kind of had to deal with that. I've tried to fix it by doing all my coloring on a separate layer, but it still seems to make the little white lines with the darker colors. And lastly, I'm adding in fish and, well, I hope to look like dolphins. And I decided to add in a character, which I didn't include because it took so long. So the next one I want to do is this mountain scene, because I just think it overall looks really pretty with the trees, the water, and the snow. The sketching actually took me a lot longer than I thought it would, because there were so many different little bits and parts to the mountain that I wanted to make sure to get in my sketch. It's also really hard to turn blocks into a natural landscape, so I tried doing that as best as I could, but I don't know if I managed to completely pull it off. And by that I mean I don't know whether it still looks like Minecraft or whether it just looks like a completely different drawing. One of the things I really like about this is the landscaping. I don't usually think I'm very good at landscaping. I usually tend to stick to people and animals, but I actually think I did a pretty good job. Moving on to line art, I managed to somehow straighten up some of the trees. That one was pretty wonky, so I'm glad I managed to straighten it up. I'm actually pretty happy about my lines here, because usually they're really shaky and I have to use the slow line tool to make them look better. And now I'm on to coloring, which took forever. But here you go, I guess. The last thing I did was the sky, and then that was pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little more different than my usual speed paints, but I'm trying to get into voiceover more. So I hope you liked this and it wasn't too bad. I was actually going to do more than 2, but since it got so long, I decided to just split it into 2 parts.